Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Golden Futures Channel, a Canadian exploration company focused on acquiring, advancing, and developing high-grade precious metal projects. Joining us today is the Chief Executive Officer, as always, Stephen Wicketson. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's good to be back.
Always a pleasure to have you back. I feel like we're a broken record here as we constantly reiterate these geopolitical tensions, the fact that the pandemic never seems to alleviate in certain areas. And here we sit, the gold sold off a little bit, but now that I don't hear as many people talking about it, but we're creeping back up to those $2,000 an ounce prices here, man. Any just quick anecdotes or insights?
Well, you know what? I think there's, unless like I've previously mentioned, you've lived under a rock. You can't help but notice that we're on, the pandemic is ongoing, and we're sort of tripping over ourselves because of this threat of World War III, which is taking place in its awful form in Ukraine. And I think that more than anything else, because of the nature of the junior resource market being not just partially driven by metal prices, more so by what metal prices do to the sentiment associated with the metals, with investors. And right now, between the grumpiness of pandemic, grumpiness for World War III, you see the gold price volatility. People, I think, it's an old expression, they're deer caught in the headlamps, don't know what to do. And as a consequence, we're seeing some bizarre days of high trading volumes, low trading volumes, good stocks going down, bad stocks going up. I've seen that too often too, but it's a really almost sick market. It's got a bit of the pandemic itself. And I think as the summer comes, the weather gets better, people are feeling better and so forth, we might just see a pretty good rally in the metals, in the juniors, particularly because the juniors are out there doing the work that the major companies aren't. We're kicking the rocks. We're looking for new things and bringing metal to the market. And like Kinross taking over Great Bear was a fantastic deal for that company. Great example of I see the market projecting as we go forward. We'll have the old food chain. And we're basically the lowest on that triangle of food for the investment market. And I think that there's be a lot of companies that are going to be starving for good deposits. And the Hercules is going to be one of those. So I had to throw that in.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that here. Yeah, I think it's intriguing because when you look at the data behind like those top miners right now and the depletion of their assets, like they're not going to have much of a choice, but obviously let you guys kind of do the brunt work. And obviously, the more risk, the more reward that comes with that. But inevitably, I mean, we need more exploration, right? Especially in times like this where you didn't realize like how intertwined some of these places like Russia were in the metals market, like the short squeeze we recently saw with something like nickel, for example, right? Which was wild. I mean, that short squeeze, I don't think has ever happened really in a commodity price like that, where they had to halt the price and then fix it. Even the last big spike that it had, I can't remember what was causing that specifically. But leading into your specific Joe program and kind of just getting this off the ground, whether you want to talk about Hercules there, leading into the spring and summer, you want to talk about where you guys see yourself going?
Well, absolutely. We've already arranged with our driller that he'll be drilling it again and completing this inaugural program of ours, holes 11 to 14, in May. And that will be quite important to us because we're going to have we're targeting a little bit wider area with respect to the Golden Mile. One thing that people don't know about the Hercules was that the 20% of all the drilling that they ever could get on the property was never incorporated in their resource calculation. They had the sort of their global resource of about 1 million tons Canadian, or 250,000 ounces. It's an excellent little deposit. But the thing is that our first 10 holes, we stepped away from that resource area, and lo and behold, each of the 10 holes hit the Golden Mile zone. Each of the holes had over cutoff grade intersections, and with the better intersections being like north of an ounce, over about a meter. So I mean, in a zone that was 11 meters thick. So we're finding a lot more that just by stepping out a little bit from where these fellows were focused on previously.
Yeah.
Holes 11 through 14 could take us one step further, except for the fact that we're actually looking around an area that was not incorporated in the resource, where there was about 4 or 5 excellent deeper intersections. And we're aiming for that around that area. If they hit, that's going to really open the door for the potential resource on this property. Are we going to double the resource? Maybe not with the first 14 holes, but we'll certainly know where to go to get the double on the Gold Mile. And of course, the other area that we'll be looking for are some of these subparallel veins. You've got the Lucky Strike, and then you've got the footwall zone of the Gold Mile. Each one of those is, really has practically no incorporation or impact on the resource yet, despite having excellent grades. So, so we're going to target. That's our first targets, and then later in the summer, when our funds start coming in from the deal we did for the Brady Gold property in Newfoundland, that's $3 billion US in stock, we'll be able to ramp up our drilling program. The drillers prepared to bring on a second drill to the project, which will really allow us to move ahead. I'm excited about this second drill prospect, because it's the type of drill that you can take out and drop into the bush and test sort of these satellite veins that we seem to be in zones that we were detecting in geochemistry and in the airborne magnetics. And if you start hitting on these outside zones, the things that have never been tested, well, we're going to be something like the Greenstone hard rock mine 40 kilometers to our east, where they've got 4.5 million ounces that they're developing right now. Yeah. Mind you, their grade's is a lot lower. It's only about 1/10 of what ours is, but they're planning on putting in a great big open pit. And we're going to have a whole bunch of veins that we can mine very selectively, and that's what I'm looking forward to as we get ahead here.
Yeah, and kind of getting out of the summertime, do you have like a broader view image of kind of moving into the fall, winter time, and what you see kind of at that point, even though it's a little ways out here? Any insights on that?
No, that's actually a good point. As we get more drilled data and the model's building out, we're going to be commencing regular updates to that mineral resource as we expand it. And I think that people should be cognizant of the fact that right now there's nobody's looking at the value of what we ought to be with the mineral resource we have now. If you double it up, we could have a tremendous revaluation of golden futures based on that expanded resource. I believe that right now a reasonable resource for us with the ounces that we have, which is in all our properties, it totals about 400,000 ounces. It should put us about $20 to $25 million market cap. So that's right now we're trading at about a third of that. So I believe that as people recognize the resource value of what we've got here and the developability of this material, because it's all right at surface, we should start getting recognized for that, and recognition will mean much better valuation.
And I'm sure the shareholders would love to hear more about that as well, and just kind of giving them a nice vision into the growth prospects here moving forward. This should be a very pivotal year for you guys, and I look forward to seeing the story evolve. So on that note, I want to pass the question off to everybody watching this. Let us know what you think in that comment section below, whether it's the geopolitical events or golden futures outlook here. We'd love to hear about it, and consider subscribing, because as those news and drill results come down the wire, we're going to continue to update you here. But stay cool, stay awesome, and as always, I look forward to catching you in the next one.